Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you guys doing? I want to speak to Shamsi directly. I want to say to Mahi, listen, you're a Muslim brother. I'm a Muslim brother to you, hopefully, inshallah. And I think that this back and forth publicly for this week has gone on for long enough. I think what we should do is we should open up private portals of communication so that we can speak to each other, because a lot of what we're doing is speaking cross purposes. I'm saying something, maybe you're not understanding or listening or answering, and vice versa. And so I think unfortunately, I mean, a man's got to know his limitations. A man's got to know his limitations. When we have public people, when it becomes public and people are watching it, then ego gets involved, then the self gets involved, then one's own desire to be prosperous and victorious over the other becomes an issue that is very difficult to control for either of us or both of us. So I think the right thing to do is, when we spoke privately the other day, before any of this started, we actually had a very pleasant conversation. I was taken aback actually by your respectful tone and things like that. And I think that if we continue in that vein, that more things can be solved. Because actually, let's be honest, if this continues, in the public, what will happen? Is there more mafsada or is there more maslaha? Is there more detriment to the public or is there more common interest to the public? I submit to you today that I think this is more detrimental to the public than anything else, because the laity, all they're seeing is two so-called religious figures, are kind of bickering amongst each other, and it just looks like tanazwa. It looks like some level of dispute and confusion it causes, and these kinds of things, akhi. And so from that perspective, akhi, I do believe that the right thing to do would be unblock me from WhatsApp. We open up portals of communication and we speak privately, akhi. That doesn't mean to say if there isn't something that you see in me in the public sphere that you can't refute it in an academic way, and vice versa. And that this is, at the end of the day, what this channel is for responding to allegations made by certain people from the extreme fringes of so-called modern-day Salafi movements, not Salafism as a manhaj, but Salafi movements. And we'll continue doing that because we think it's in the public interest, especially people that can be, in some kind of predatorial way, taken in and groomed by these groups, and then absorbed into cults where they're exploited in more than one way. So I think there is a need for these kinds of channels, quite frankly, and we're not taking, we're not stepping back from that. However, I think that the conversational style, and especially from my side, bro, the mocking attitude, maybe from your side as well, I'll let you own that if you want to, it has not been in line with the prophetic method. And the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said also, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه, that one of you will not truly believe until they love for the brother what they love for themselves. And akhi, I want you to be happy. I know that sounds quite cliche. I want you to be happy in this dunya and the akhirah, because really and truly, bro, I like you as an individual. I mean it. I'm not just, this is authentic. I want you to be happy in this dunya and the akhirah. I want you and your family to be happy. And if anything happened to you, akhi, where you were needed a defense, physical or conversational kind of defense, I'll be there for you. And I want everyone to know that, especially the enemies of Islam, who think that, these guys are at each other's throats. They wouldn't know. If something happened to Shamsi, akhi, where he was in the speaker's corner, someone tried to put their hands on him and stuff, I'll be the first person there to defend him. And so, make no, have no doubt about that. Actually, I should say, we are brothers, and we should also be wary and cognizant of the fact, that the Prophet, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says in the Quran, وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا فَتَفْشَلُوا. Do not dispute with one another because you'll fail. Because we're both doing da'wah to non-believers, and we are both engaging with enemies of Islam. So they like to see us do a dispute. That's why they never comment about it. Their silence is deafening for reasoning, and that is just let them fight, because they'd love us to. So I would say we have to have a kind of a bigger picture understanding of this. And I think the best thing to do is let's unite, or at least not divide each other in public, or at least speak to each other privately and try and do these things. And if you continue and I continue and we continue in this negative way, it will not be in anyone's interest. But as I say, if there's an academic refutation that is required, let's just keep to the points. And I apologize to you once again for my own mocking behavior. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.